Hey Obsidians, I'm here to talk about something really near and dear to my heart, which is dance scene organizing. And if you didn't know, I just recently quit organizing my dance scene. And I wanted to talk about, in general, why that happened and what I think as a community we should be doing to stop people from spontaneously combusting and deciding to throw their hands in the air and be like, I'm done. So, So some of my experiences with running the dance scene is that I generally felt really unappreciated, and I felt like as an organizer I could never do enough to not hear extremely negative feedback all the time. And some of these issues are easily fixable, and some of them I think as a community at large, nationally and internationally probably, we need to remember that organizers at the end of the day are just throwing a party. That's it. They're just somebody who's decided, I want to throw a party for anyone who wants to show up. And they're throwing a party. Which means that as community members attending that dance, we're not particularly entitled to anything more than, hopefully, a good party. A lot of times I hear complaints about things that are either in the organizer's control or they tried to fix and then things went wrong. And people skewer them for this. And the simple thing is, it's like, sometimes things don't work out. Sometimes a party happens at a park somewhere. Sometimes it's on concrete. Sometimes it's in a beautiful ballroom. But that isn't up for you to have such strong feelings about, that you're willing to yell and scream at your organizer for doing those things. They are, again, at the end of the day, just trying to throw a party and hoping that people come. Now, that's not to say if you have health problems that you're obligated to attend events that are poor for your health. But I know from being a part of other dance scenes and observing them for marketing purposes that other scenes are able to do some things that particularly the blues scene and the swing scene just don't find acceptable. So a lot of other scenes are able to have more versatility in terms of organizing and how to do it, and it seems to be a little less pressured than it is here. Now, of course, there's always going to be some complaints, but in general, I find that our scene complains a lot more than other scenes about certain things. And often we tend to skew towards the entitled side of what we expect at our events. What do I mean by this? So, I grew up in a very poor and underprivileged situation as a kid. And so, you got what you got and you made the best do of what you could. Now, that's not to say there aren't better things and worse things, but it just means that you make the best out of your situation. And that's just how it is. And you can have a really amazing time playing with a bowl of rags that you form into a soccer ball in the street with some friends, as much as you can with a nice soccer ball with cleats and with everything super professional and on AstroTurf. They're both fun. They both can be fun as long as you don't feel like you're owed the AstroTurf field with the nice goal lines and everything. And this is the thing I feel like we've gotten away from as a scene in general. And additionally, it's always bothered me because the whole point of the blues is to make do with what you got. It's not to have the best of everything, and if you don't, you're gonna complain and scream and yell at people about it. So, these are some things that I've observed over the couple of years that has really bothered me. People being really upset about the floors, people being really upset because it's warm, people being upset about competitions and things happening, and people complaining about announcements being long. All the while, when I ask these people, like, oh, have you ever volunteered at an event? Have you ran an event? Have you considered running an event? Have you ever helped out? Most of the time, I get a lot of no's. And the no's are always because they're like, oh, I go to dance for fun. I let go of all my responsibilities and I just want to go have fun. And that's great. And that's dandy. But I think as we've lost touch of the fact that you can have fun anywhere, doing anything, as long as you're still doing the thing that you love. So you might not have the most perfect environment. Maybe not everything is going your way. Maybe you might have to spend a little more time listening to comps than you want to. Or the comps are a little more unorganized than you like them to be. Or etc. But that doesn't mean that it's going to necessarily ruin your whole event process unless you let it. And so, I just want to mention the fact that as community members, we have more control over our experience and over how supported our organizers feel. And I want to say this by two things. You're allowed, you're able to have fun in almost any situation, assuming you're doing the thing that you like to do. A callback would be the soccer situation I used just a minute ago. The kids that are playing in the street are having equally, if not more fun than the kids playing on the AstroTurf with all the high tech and rules and high structure. And as community members, we're not entitled to have that experience. Sometimes people can't throw you that nice of a party, and you're just gonna have that not as nice of a party, but that doesn't mean that you can't have fun at that party. Your job is to find ways to have fun at it. If you don't like competitions, maybe go out with your friends for drinks during the competitions. If you think that it's too hot, find clothes that are lighter in fabric. Or consider the fact that you don't need to dance every song. Maybe you want to spend that time getting to know people around you. And even maybe you want to get to know people that dance the same role as you. At this point in time, it's ridiculous that people say, oh, I don't know other leaders because I'm a lead. Or I don't know other followers because I'm a follow. It is a social dance. It is an event where you're supposed to meet other people and not just dance. You know, our expectation that we should want to dance every single song the whole night is absurd. People and organizers are going to play towards different types of people that are at the event. If you don't like Piedmont Blues, that song's not for you. Go get a drink. Go see your friend. Go to the bathroom. Go wipe off the sweat on your back. But don't yell at the organizer later that, oh, the music is too old. They're trying to play for people like me who love Piedmont Blues. And that's really what I live for. I'm not really a big Chicago blues person. Like, if it's playing, I'm like, I'll go do something else. And I still have fun at these events because my self-worth and my ability to enjoy this event isn't tied to just dancing. It isn't tied to things being perfect. It isn't tied to the thing being catered to me, my expectations, and my values. If you want to help your organizers feel more appreciated, if you want to help your organizers have an easier time and maybe be able to even enjoy the party that they're throwing for you, mostly from just volunteering. They're not usually paid for this. There are things you can do. Some easy things that some people do. Buy them a drink. Whether that be coffee, tea, alcohol, otherwise. Consider buying them a drink. Consider if you know they've been at the venue all day, grabbing them some food, asking if you can grab them some food on the way, or cook them some food. It doesn't really matter. Ask them what they need. Some people need Diet Coke. Some people just need a hug. Some people just want somebody to check in on them after the event's all over and tell them they did a good job. Because organizers hear so much negative feedback all the time. And if you're going to give positive feedback, be specific. Don't just say, I loved your event. Tell them why. Tell them what worked. Tell them what you enjoyed and how much you appreciated the experience. Because you were given that experience. Another easy way is to volunteer. CMs need a lot of help to work. And I don't mean just volunteering at the door. I mean flyer. Help people flyer. As you're going throughout your day, put out a flyer here, put out a flyer there. Do these things. Ask the person, can you be the one who updates the website? It's an hour of your time once a month to update the website. It's usually pretty easy. it's usually pretty easy to do. Another thing that's pretty easy to do is to learn how uh, to DJ or teach. Or if you feel like that's too much of an investment, simply be friendly to people. Be friendly. Dance with people you don't know. Dance with new people. Spend 20 minutes of your night dancing with new people. Why? Just because you want to encourage the community to be a warm and welcoming place like it was when you got there. If your organizer sends out a message calling for help, consider maybe you're going to be that person this time and not just simply expect other people to do it. Unless, if you're one of those people who say to me, or said to me as an organizer, oh, I go to dance for fun and I don't want to bring in responsibility or work because I'm there for fun. My argument for you is that I think you should still contribute to the dance scene in a very simple way that won't take away from your fun and won't take away from your time off. Consider giving money. And I don't mean necessarily that you have to give lots of money to the scene. I mean, even if every time you go in, you give an extra $1. Because these scenes don't often pay their organizers and are usually stretched pretty thin on finances. Give an extra $1 every time you go in. Give an extra $3 when you've got the space for it. Give up a coffee a month and donate it towards the scene that you love so you can continue to do that. Which do you care more about? Your weekly dance or a morning coffee? One day of the month. That amount of money can make a difference in your scene. And it shows that you still care and are trying to contribute. But maybe you don't have the time or energy to do some of the things I was talking about. Or better yet, if you want to be really cool, do some of all of it. Organizing is a lot of work. And to do a lot of the things, the extra things that the scene wants or desires or needs beyond just having some music, having a floor, requires a lot of work. A lot more work than the organizer probably realized they signed up for. So consider being helpful. To those things that you notice are falling through the cracks, or those ideas that you want to make work, or you're like, this isn't working as well as I think it should. Maybe the energy they need is yours. If you're passionate about it, reach out to your organizer and say, I want to help. I want to take this thing off your plate because I'm passionate about it and I want to make sure it's a part of the scene. That's how you make a difference. I think if I had gotten that kind of support and help, I wouldn't have burned out as an organizer. And actually, I don't even like the phrase burned out because it implies that I overworked myself and ran out of motivation. Instead, what really happened is I got burned by my scene. They expected too much and asked for too much from one person. And when I requested help, it was like pulling teeth to get it. My hope is that people take this advice to heart and really reach out to their organizers to see what they can do, to see what committees they can join, and how they can generally help out and create a scene that is sustainable, that brings in new people, that keeps everyone invested, excited, and passionate. So at the end of the day, your community can continue, thrive, and grow. That's all I got for today. Peace. I should brush my teeth first. I'm not gonna do it. That's all I got for today.